Hello and welcome to I Can See the Future. Teresa and I are here on, this is video 2 for Plant Guru. So a quick reminder of what Plant Guru is. It is an app idea that we were working through in the last video that is all about helping you keep your houseplants alive by connecting you with a plant guru. And so where we are at this point is Teresa has worked through some illustrations and some of the logos and has started to work on the creative side, and I've kind of put my brain towards some of the user experience and kind of thinking through what needs to happen there for wireframing. And we've essentially just started both of those, and so what we wanted to share for this video today is just kind of brainstorming out and diving a little bit deeper in the user experience. And yeah, so we'll just start with that. So I kind of started thinking through the client side of the app and writing out some of the user stories. These are some of just the basic user stories as you run through, like what the user initially would do and the steps to kind of get into using the app. And so just some of the really basic initial wireframes, landing page or landing kind of like opening screen, Plant Guru, welcome illustration, then sign up and sign in. And then we kind of get into that first initial experience you have. So when you log in, you'll have what is like your home dashboard where all of your plants would be. So you would be able to add a plant initially, and we would kind of drive you to do that. When you add the plant, you would then end up in this add a plant screen, which is the screen that's in the center there, filling out the information that you would need, which is like the name of the plant, the type of plant, the age, the watering schedule, sunlight measurement, adding a photo, and then deciding whether or not your plant was happy or sad. And then once you've added one, you know that would show up on that home dashboard. And so this is kind of where I think it gets a little bit more interesting and where Teresa and I can kind of think through some of the functionality. This is where it gets a little bit harder anyway. We're trying to think of like a free version of this app, something that could be just anybody can download and get value from. And so the thought would be the free version could be you can add all of your plants, and maybe when you click on your plant, you can receive some information about what is are you watering it too much? Maybe there's like automatic like information we can give you based on the plant that helps you kind of take care of your plants better and keep track of them, right? And then we were talking about the idea of, okay, so what is like the sort of paid subscription model for this? And that would be like if you were actually communicating with like a real plant guru, that would then bring you into like a sort of tiered subscription based on however many plants you have.
Yeah.
So after some of the conversation that we had earlier in the week, I was thinking through what could work, and that's kind of what I think we should talk about now, which is this idea of you can come in, add all your plants, get some information, but then like in this top corner here where it says PG chat, it would be like a literal like chat icon or something that brings you into talking with a plant guru. And when you talk to a plant guru, my thought, and we can kind of draw this out, is say you click on that, you are brought into, go back, and then you're brought into like, here's this like little bot kind of icon, and it sends you like this message right here, and you're in a chat box kind of a thing, right? Like as if you're chatting with, let's just pretend that looks better, and that looks like a chat, like your keyboard. But essentially it would like send some message to you kind of indicating like, oh, do you want to speak to a guru? Are you interested in subscribing to whatever level to speak to the guru? And you can enter back in yes. And if you do yes, then it would kind of give you a subscription option or something, which would then pop up the box for like subscribing, like that, right? And that would then start, like make your account like have an active guru. That's what I was thinking. Like, what are your thoughts here?
My initial thoughts while you were drawing this out was the chat being either like a live aspect or more of like an email format, but it looks like a chat box, because I was thinking from the user side and the interaction that you have with the guru, I feel like it might be more helpful for the guru side if it's not live.
Yeah.
It's not a live chat. It's more like you can go into your plant, and then maybe through the plant box there's a chat place where you can literally put in your notes for what's going on with that plant, like what do you need help with or whatever, and then within a certain amount of time, a guru would answer you.
Yeah.
Tell you like the things that you need to do.
Yeah. So I was thinking, so I went through a few thoughts of where it would be located, and I was thinking the reason why you wouldn't have them, so this would still function, and it wouldn't be live. It would be like there's a bot, like this would be not the guru itself, but like this is like a bot, right? That automatically responds with some things and like lets you know, like, okay, cool. So say you send something to it, it would be like, okay, cool. Like your guru will get back to you, kind of a thing. But the thought that I was having was, by separating it out here, what would happen once you turn on having a guru is, on the guru side, I'm imagining more of like a web app than just an app, right? Because there's more kind of like tickets to manage, or like potential clients, right? So my thought with that was, there's a web app, you would log in as a guru and you would pick off like, oh, I want this, sure, this person just signed up to have a guru, I'll pick them. And so they would select them, and basically any plant that you have, they would see like an overview of all of your plants, like your whole account. And so when you turn it on, that chatbot would say, cool, you have, we'll find you a guru. When the guru actually comes, the guru's first step would be to look through all of your plants and see, okay, these ones are the ones that are sad, like sad plants, and come up with like plans to make them better. And then, the second you're assigned a guru, the bot would also let you know, hey, the guru, you've been assigned a guru, they're looking over all of your plants. Do you have any additional notes you want to kind of put here? So it feels more of like a personal kind of chat thing that's happening. You could write any additional little details based on your, whatever plant. And then the guru would actually create a plan that you would then be able to see, like guru plan based on the plant. So like it was still, all of that data like from the guru would still show up there, like on your plant. So just like exactly like what you were saying, except for the chat side of it, like the hope would be that you don't have to chat for the majority. There aren't additional details that you have to write for the majority of the cases. Like it's almost like the plant guru should be able to come in and see like all of the obvious things that you're doing wrong. Like say it's a certain plant that needs a different kind of sunlight. And if they, and then at that point they can make like a general plan, and then like any additional conversation that needs to happen outside of it could be in the chat box. But so that was like the full concept. So like partially what you were saying, but like the chatting side of it being like separate.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, what are your thoughts on that? Like, should we allow for live chat to happen?
Well, it wouldn't be live chat in the sense of like it has to be responded to immediately. because there's always like a bot that kind of like would be able to manage the middle. So you would just like you would send notes based on what the bot's requesting. So like you don't just get to type in like you don't necessarily type in anything you want. Like it's not like a hey like a longer conversation kind of thing. It's more of like a like
It's like information.
direct in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a directed chat. And that way it would limit, because I kind of think I get what you're getting at, which is like it would be crazy if somebody just starts like writing all this stuff about their plants and it's just all over the place and overwhelming. It needs to be like really streamlined for sure. It's just yeah. So the question is like, do we add like a place where people can put details per the plant? But the thing is like the plant's life and health over time will like always continuously change. And do we want to keep those details on the plants themselves, or do we want it to be kind of like every time the guru creates a new like plant kind of like plan that would be then attached, like you can see the updated plan for your plant, like, and the details don't matter moving forward.
I think if they're giving you a plan, I don't need to see the past plans, but maybe it would be helpful to see the overall history of what's happened with the plant, just as like a learning tool, so you can see like with each session the state of your plant, and like maybe you move locations, or maybe you're watering more frequently, like so that you kind of have like the history of like what you've done.
Yeah, it could be kind of cool to have like a calendar view almost for both of the user and the plant guru, to have like per your plant you could open a calendar and like see everything going back for your plant, like what you've done, how you've taken care of it and everything.
Yeah.
Sorry, my dog wants to come in. Coda wants to be a part of the room. So my
Cool.
yeah, like maybe that calendar view takes care of that issue we were thinking.
Mm-hmm.
That way it's like, so all of that information, I think for sure, I was thinking the plant guru should always be able to see, because maybe the other element is like the idea of being able to rate your gurus. So say you have a guru and you don't like them and you want to rate them really low and get a new one, all of that information should remain for the next person that's coming in to help you. So definitely thought like all of it should be recorded, sort of about where, oh, I think my screen fell asleep. It's sort of about where, where it's actually going to show up. Oh, this is so annoying. This app is annoying. But yeah, I mean, I think overall, 8991, and we are back. I think overall, we definitely want to record and show everything back to the user and to the plant guru, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's sort of a question of whether or not we want to have like the chat kind of aspect of it on the side, or if we just want it to be like turn on the plant guru and add your notes and they'll like send you things back after that.
What if it's your dash? You have like, it's a grid of all of the plants that you have, and you can put in your notes for what's happening with your plants and everything, like in the second frame. But then when you come back, when you sign into your dash, and we create alerts for this too. What if it's like, if there's an update from your guru, there's like a little icon that alerts you to which plants have been updated with information. So you can be like, oh, like the guru came in, like updated 3 of my plants of like things that I should be watching out for or whatever. And then if there are like ones where you specifically have questions for, those will definitely be updated. but like the guru could flag also your other plants that you might not be aware of, like that's doing fine now, but you definitely need to move it inside. It's winter time. I don't know, like stuff like that.
Yeah. So maybe instead of this being a chat here, right? This is just more of like, on or off. Like you're basically like saying, yeah, I want a plant guru. And that page would have information about like signing up in the plant guru and everything. Like that screen kind of lets you like bring a guru in.
Yeah.
Right. And then on the actual plant itself, which we don't have laid out yet, right? This is sort of weird to write on and off, but that's fine. On, off. Oh my God, I'm like, I should try harder here. Wait a second. On/off. It's readable now. Basically, you would just get alerts based on the plants that you have. So say you have another one.
Maybe it's that way because if you're not doing live chat, then maybe there's no need for that separate frame.
For what separate frame?
For there to be like a chat box.
Yeah, well, so if there's no like within the actual plant itself, so like say the plant guru gave you for this first one here, gave you a plan and you have another plant and it was doing good, but the plant guru's now flagged it as being sad because it actually you think you could either change it to sad or not. But then here, like the guru sends you like the second time you have a guru plan right here, right? And that's like an indication of like a new plan, and you can get a notification about that. And that plan will now show up when you come in. You'll see like, oh, I have a new plan here. Clicking into here is what would give you. So let's say instead of a chat, my dog wants to eat. So she's gonna just whine behind us for the next half hour until I feed her.
30 minutes.
30 minutes. Hey, go home. Go home. Coda, go home. Girl. All right. That might work. Okay, so instead of it being a chat inside, you click in. So I click into this one here. And inside of that, I have all of the information. Let's pretend, because I don't feel like writing it up. This is all of your plant information. And then there's also this like kind of chat box that has like, it's not really a chat box, more of like message, and this is like messages that have come in. And then you also have like somewhere where you can write in and send. Cool. Your own, right? Send something back. And so your plant guru, sends you some sort of message or details. But basically all of your plan and everything up here would be changing. You say like you're watering too much and the plant guru changes and makes the watering schedule Monday and Friday or Monday and Wednesday instead, right? Or, you're watering like every single day and they do every other day is more ideal. So they would change that, indicate that they've changed it. Like there's a schedule, a new information, and then send you like a little message, within there. If there's any detailed notes or like say one of the things is like, you should try using these certain nutrients, then that would be sent there too. So all of the information is based on a per plant.
Yeah.
And then, like we were saying up here, we'll just do some kind of like a calendar view of some sort that you can click and then over time see like all the messages and information based on date and the, like what's changed. Yeah.
I just had another thought. So say that you have all these plants and there's all these different watering schedules and stuff. Hopefully they're kind of similar, but another function that we could provide for people is kind of like either a notification schedule so that you don't have to think about when you water. Like you're just notified, and you're like, oh yeah, today is this one, this one, this one.
Uh-huh.
And that either alerts you through messages, or maybe your plants can be organized according to like similarities in watering, just so that that's like really easy for the user to be like these all are Monday, Wednesday, and these are all once a week or something, you know?
Right. Yeah. Notification schedule. Yeah. And then, or organize by, organize plants. Plants by, let's see, organize plants by watering.
Yeah.
Water schedule. Cool. Yeah, I think that makes more sense overall. Sorry, I'm also getting FaceTime messages. It's crazy technology day today. And also crazy dog. All right, I think that makes sense for like an overall kind of layout. I think that's better than like doing a chat, like an individual chat, like to actually associate the chats or the notes and stuff to the plant itself.
Yeah.
I think that does feel better. So it's a matter of also thinking through like what's the sort of marketing of turning on the plant guru, because it's like it's sort of like a it's like subscribe now. So like I don't want it to feel too much like a marketing kind of like you know where you like when you see those apps that are like free. Out. Go. Where you see those apps that are like free and they like you feel really good about it until you like get stopped and you can't move forward because you're like, oh, I hit the like marketing page that's trying to sell me the like thing. That's why I was kind of initially thinking, well, if it's like a chat that like starts to talk to you, right? Like the bot gives you some kind of good information, and then it says, well, like, oh, do you want a real person to come in and actually fill in? Then it's like it's less of like a cold kind of like or like hard sale like right in your face, and more of like, oh yeah, turn that on. I don't mind paying that much per month to like have a real person, So I kind of still want that feeling. So instead of it just being like you go to this like plant guru page and it's just marketing material trying to get you to hit subscribe, it needs to be something that gives you some kind of value.
Real value.
Right. So I don't know if it's even a button like an on or off kind of like turn on your plant guru page.
What do you think of like doing giving people like free weeks to start off with, and then switching it off and being like, if you want to continue, like, so everyone starts with a guru. It's just an idea. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that could work for like getting people to use it. Like that would be ideal, but I also think that would be really tricky for the fact that it's like subscription to actual people. Like there's the gurus on the other end. So imagine like having all of these people that you've worked on and then they turn it off and then you only get paid for like a small percentage and you've already put a lot of energy. It's like that the first energy it takes to get somebody to give them that like plan is more energy than it takes to maintain it for the guru. So it kind of feels like an unfair from their perspective, like, you only make like a few dollars from doing all of this work versus like you're ongoing going to make this much. You do all the initial work and then you kind of can have like a bunch of different clients that you can manage because you already know what everybody, you already did that initial hard work. So I would say no for that reason. Because if we're trying to think of like how much a subscription is and then how much a plant guru should get paid monthly for continuing to contribute to that, to like being their guru. It's like the hard work's up front. So it's more of just like figuring out how to make it feel softer that we're asking you to subscribe to the person. And I think it makes sense. It's like we give you all of this free stuff that's like, you can put all your plants in here, understand the watering schedule. You could get notifications based on the days you told, so that you always are reminded to water. And then it could give you some, based on the plant, some automatic like AI feedback on what you should be doing for each of these sections. So like, oh, it looks like you're watering this plant too much. That could come in the chat part from like the bot. And maybe it's a matter of saying like, do you want a guru? It's just about like within there. So like inside of don't erase. Inside of this page in the middle here, when you are on this screen in your actual plant, and the right here, like this is actually just like the first message that you get is like a bot that responds with some information about your plant and the schedule. And then it's like, want a human, like subscribe for your own guru kind of a thing here. So it's less of like an individual, like blocked marketing page and more of like kind of fits into the flow.
So what would the bot be able to do for you?
So based on, and I'll have to kind of see like what is available API wise for all of this, but I'm assuming I can find something which is like based on the type of plant, it could tell you very quickly what type of sunlight it should receive, how frequently it should be watered, and I don't know, some of the potential other things that you're putting in, whether or not you're doing that wrong, right? So if you've put on, marked that you only water your plant twice a week and you're supposed to water it every day, the bot could immediately indicate, hey, you actually should be watering this type of plant every day. But we can also indicate there that like, but this is just like the bot's response. So if you want like somebody that, an actual like expert to really look over your plant and give you a better kind of plan for it, then this is what, then you would just subscribe your plants.
Or like we could use the word customized.
Right. Yeah. So like, right? So it feels better than like just having a separate marketing page. I think it makes more sense to have it kind of here. But then the question is your whole, like this is the confusion of like, if it's here, is it just this plant that has a plant guru, or do you now have a plant guru for all your plants? And I think the point we were talking about was we want it for all of your plants because it should just be a flat amount based on how many plants you have per month, right? Like some range. You pay $4 a month or something for your up to 10 plants. And the plant guru can just look through all of them, keep them all relatively happy with plans. Or it's like, would you pay per month per plant?
I feel like a flat fee, it makes more sense, right? Because for one plant, for someone to use an app and to pay for one plant seems like kind of ridiculous. Unless it's a really big, valuable plant.
Well, that's the point though. Like you could use this app for your one plant that you have that's like super nice, and that would be useful. And what if it's only $1 because it's $1 per plant?
I think that's fine, but the thing is you could rope me in with more, because although there's only one plant that I have that's in trouble, I have lots of other plants. And if you were like, if the plan was like 1 to 4 plants was like a certain bracket of whatever a month, then I would add my 4 plants in, like all of them, because like why not?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay. So then the issue with like kind of trying to get you to sign up at this stage, like inside of a plant, is that there's really some user experience confusion about, am I signing up a subscription for this plant or is it for everything? And yeah, you could indicate that here. Like, do you want a human to look over all of your plants? But then we're like repeating that same sort of like thing on every single plant that you have, which might be kind of weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that weird. We can kind of play it out further and maybe see. But yeah, I think this is like, I think we've kind of come up with, we've dived a little bit deeper into the thought process here. We're going to have to keep thinking about it and lay it out and kind of go even deeper in order to really wireframe these out. So I think we should maybe wrap this video up here because we've gotten some of that thought process kind of out and shared. So I feel like that's good, but we'll just keep this conversation going over the next few days and kind of like keep pushing the wireframes and the design along. And then, for the next video, we can see where we are and share that. And hopefully by the end of the month, have this app actually kind of fully designed out, because this could be a fun one to build in the future. All right, cool. Let's see, I have to pull up and stop the video. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.